I am still having a time believing I am writing this. My hands are shaking as I type this out. I am really upset. I just can't believe what my sister did. She is my sister and I feel like she is being very mean to me. I need to talk about this because it is bothering me a lot. I hope someone can give me some advice on what to do. My family is making me feel like I am the person and that is not fair. My sister is the one who did something, not me. I am feeling very angry, hurt because of what my family is saying about me and what my sister did. I am a wedding photographer and videographer. After years of taking pictures and videos of weddings with equipment, I finally had enough money to buy the equipment I really wanted. A DJI Matrice 350 RTK with a Zenmuse P1 camera. The DJI Matrice 350 RTK with a Zenmuse P1 camera is not something you can find at a store. The DJI Matrice 350 RTK with a Zenmuse P1 camera is an expensive professional aerial photography system that costs $62,000. I used up all my savings to buy the DJI Matrice 350 RTK with a Zenmuse P1 camera. I also took out a loan, sold my car so I could afford the DJI Matrice 350 RTK with a Zenmuse P1 camera. This drone was really going to change my business. I was going to use the drone to take pictures from up high. These pictures would be so good that people would notice me, and I would stand out from all the wedding photographers around here. The drone would let me take pictures that no one else could take. That is what would make my business special. Saturday, I was getting ready for the biggest wedding of my career. This wedding was a big deal for me because I was going to get paid $30,000. The family who hired me is very important in our town. The bride is the daughter of a judge. This wedding is going to be in a lot of magazines. They picked me because they liked the pictures I took from up high. They wanted me to take pictures from above of their ceremony at a very old and beautiful estate. The ceremony was going to be, and they wanted aerial photography of it. I was going to take pictures of the wedding from the air because that is what they were expecting from me and my aerial photography. That morning, my sister, Kelly, showed up at my place without telling me she was coming. She had her son Aiden with her. He is 8 years old. My sister Kelly does this sometimes. She just shows up at my door when she needs some time to herself and a break from taking care of Aiden. I am usually okay with it. That morning, I was really busy. I was getting all my equipment for the next day. I was checking everything, charging the batteries. I was also going over the list of shots I wanted to get. My sister Kelly showed up in the middle of all this. She asked me if I can watch Aiden for hours. She was already walking into my apartment when she said this. I need to take care of Aiden for a while, she said, because she has to do some things. She told me she needs to run some errands, and that is why she needs me to watch Aiden. I told her that I was getting ready for a big wedding, but she just brushed me off. She said the kid will just play games on his tablet. You will not even notice that the kid is there. Famous last words. Within 5 minutes, Aiden saw my drone. It was sitting on the dining table with my stuff. His eyes got really excited. He looked like a kid on Christmas morning. He said, "That is really cool. A helicopter. Can I fly my drone?" "No, that is not a toy," I said to the person. I was trying to be nice. I also had to be serious. "That is my work equipment," I told them. "My work equipment is very expensive. It can break easily," he said. "Please, for a minute." Then he reached for it. I gently moved the thing away from him. I did not want him to have it, so I kept it out of his reach. The thing was not going to be his, not right now. Absolutely not. "Hey, want to see some cool videos on my computer instead?" Kelly rolled her eyes at me. She said, "Oh my God, do not be so uptight. The toy is a toy." "This thing is not a toy, Kelly. The drone I have costs a lot of money, more than what you paid for your car. The drone is what I use to make my living. It is my job. I need the drone to do that." She said, "You really think it is worth more than my car? That is crazy. You always make things sound worse than they are. It is probably around $1,000 or so. Just let him keep it for now. You are being really unfair to him. It is not nice to treat the video game system that way. Let him hold the video game system at least." I said the amount was $62,000. The number sounded really big to me. I said it without showing any emotion. The amount was $62,000. She laughed. I mean, she actually laughed. She said, "Right, sure it is. Stop being such a control freak. The kid is a kid. Kids like to play with drones all the time with their drones and have fun with their drones." I spent the 20 minutes trying to get Aiden to focus on something else while I was trying to finish checking my equipment. The thing is, Aiden just would not leave the drone alone. He kept coming to it and asking me more and more questions. He wanted to know things like what would happen if he just touched the propellers on the drone. Then he asked if he could hold the controller for the drone. After that, he started asking what this button on the drone does and what that button on the drone does. Kelly was on her phone at the time. She would sometimes say something like, "You really need to learn to relax, and this is why you do not have kids." Kelly said these things to try to help. Kelly wanted to make sure people knew that they should learn to relax. Kelly also said that not being able to relax is why people like that do not have kids. Kelly kept looking at her phone and talking to the people around her. Kelly said, "You really need to learn to relax, and this is why you do not have kids," to Kelly's friends. I really had to go to the bathroom. I looked straight at Kelly. Please make sure he does not touch any of my equipment. I am serious. About my equipment. The woman waved me off without looking up from her phone. She just kept staring at her phone. I was away for a few minutes. When I got back, the dining table was empty. The food was all gone. My stomach felt like it was falling down. The dining table was really empty. Where's my drone? Kelly looked up. She said I let Aiden take it outside. Aiden was really excited. You were being grumpy. Aiden is very careful with Aiden's toys. I have never moved fast before. I went through my door really quickly to find Aiden in the yard. He was holding my controller in his hand like it was a video game. The drone was up in the air 30 feet high and it was wobbling all over the place. The drone was not flying. Steadily Aiden was still holding the controller and the drone was still in the air. I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Aiden, stop." He got really scared when he heard my voice. He jerked the controls of the drone. The $62,000 drone moved suddenly. To the side, it crashed into my neighbor's oak tree. The noise the drone made when it hit those branches is something that I will never forget. It was like my whole future was falling apart when I heard that sound. The $62,000 drone smashing into the oak tree. The drone fell to the ground. Landed on the concrete patio, it was badly hurt. One of the arms was bent. The thing that holds the camera was broken. The camera itself was cracked too. Aiden was really upset that his drone was broken. He ran over to it. Started stomping on the drone. Aiden was clearly very frustrated with the drone. It's broken. Stupid helicopter. When I finally got to him, the thing was totally ruined. The drone was all broken up, the camera lens was smashed to bits, the inside parts were all busted and crushed. The drone was really messed up. The drone was completely destroyed. I was standing there in shock, looking at the wreckage of my entire business investment. It was a bad scene. Kelly walked outside, saw the mess. She just shrugged her shoulders. Kelly said, "Well, that is what insurance is for, right?" When she saw my business investment was destroyed, Kelly did not seem to care that my business investment was ruined. My insurance has a problem with people using it without permission, and I told her that. I said, if that happens, I will have to cancel the wedding the next day. Then she got really mad at me, which is pretty crazy. She was yelling at me, not the way around, and that is just not right. My insurance and the wedding are the things here, and she should not be angry with me. About my insurance and the wedding, you should not have left that thing where he could get to it. Kids are always getting into things. This is all because you did not put that thing away like you were supposed to. You have to remember that kids are curious and they will touch things they should not touch. That thing was not safe where you left it. Now, it is your fault that something bad happened to it. IT was on my dining table in my own home. The wedding clients were really mad at me when I called to tell them I could not do the wedding. The wedding clients are taking me to court because they think I did not do what I said I would do in the contract. People in the wedding business found out about it fast. Now, everyone knows me as the photographer who did not show up to take pictures at the judge's daughter's wedding. I have not gotten any calls from people who want to book the wedding photographer since then. The wedding photographer, that is me, has not had any bookings. Kelly will not pay a penny. She has told the family that I am trying to ruin her financially over a toy helicopter and that I am choosing money over the family. My parents think that I should just let the whole thing go because the family is more important than things like a toy helicopter. My brother said that I am being too sensitive and that I should have had insurance for the toy helicopter. Kelly is still saying that I am trying to ruin her over this toy helicopter. I have talked to a lawyer. We are going to go ahead with the lawsuit. I have also decided that I do not want to talk to Kelly. This has really upset my mother. She called me. She was crying. She said that I am hurting the family by not talking to Kelly. The lawsuit and not talking to Kelly are my decisions. I think they are the right things to do regarding Kelly and the situation with Kelly. That drone was not any old thing. It was my future that I was counting on. I had put years and years of my savings into it. The drone was also my reputation and my career as a drone operator. Then my sister let her son completely destroy my drone because she did not want to take care of him for just 5 minutes. My sister should have been watching her son so this would not have happened to my drone. So, Reddit. I am wondering if I am wrong about this. Should I just forget about the lawsuit? Try to keep things calm? Do I have a good reason to make her pay for what happened because of her carelessness? The thing is, her negligence really caused a lot of damage. I think she should be held accountable for the destruction her negligence caused, because right now, I'm sleeping on a friend's couch, eating ramen, and watching my photography business circle the drain. All because my sister thought my professional equipment was just a toy. I think it is really crazy that I have been saving people's lives for the 5 years now. Someone is dead. It is all because my sister thought I was being too hard on her son. I keep thinking about what happened that day. I wonder if I could have done something to change things. I know what really happened. It was not my fault. It was my sister's fault. I have been thinking about my sister and what she did. My sister is the one who's to blame for what happened to her son. I work for Mountain County Search and Rescue. This job is not fancy. I am really proud of it. Mountain County Search and Rescue is the team that people call when they need help. When Mountain County Search and Rescue gets a call about a hiker who's missing or a climber who has fallen or a kid who has walked away from a campground, Mountain County Search and Rescue is the team that finds them and brings them home. job at Mountain County Search and Rescue is to fly a drone that helps us find people. The drone is a FLIR Skyranger R70. It has good cameras that can see body heat from really far away, up to 1,000 feet. The cameras on the FLIR Skyranger R70 drone are as good as the ones the military uses. In a forest or at night, it is often the difference between finding the person alive or recovering the body of the person. The person in the forest or at night needs to be found quickly. Finding the person in the forest or at night is very important. The person in the forest or at night can be found alive if we look for the person quickly. 3 weeks ago, my parents decided to have a family barbecue at my house. This is something they do from time to time. They picked my house because the backyard is really big. I was okay with that. I was actually pretty excited to see all of my family members. There was one thing I was not excited about. My sister Melissa was going to bring her kid, Tyler, to the barbecue. Tyler is 10 years old. He is my sister Melissa's son. I was not really looking forward to my sister Melissa bringing Tyler to the family barbecue at my house. I really care about my nephew Tyler. Tyler has some problems with knowing what is okay and what is not. Tyler also has trouble controlling his impulses. My nephew Tyler is totally into video games, the ones where you can fly things and the ones with drones. My sister, Melissa, says that Tyler is just very passionate about these things. The rest of my family thinks that Tyler is actually addicted to them. The thing about Tyler is that he cannot see a game controller without wanting to play with it. My nephew Tyler just has to touch the controller. It is like he cannot help himself when it comes to video games and controllers. I knew this was going to be a problem, so before everyone got to my house, I locked my home office where the drone is kept. The drone is really valuable. It costs $62,000, which is more than what most people pay for a car. But the drone is not just valuable because of its price, it has actually saved 17 people's lives in the 2 years that we have had the drone. The drone is supposed to go on missions and people are counting on the drone to work properly because their lives depend on the drone being able to fly and do its job. Tyler ran straight to my office soon as they got there. He said, "Uncle Jake, my mom told me that you have drones and you know how to fly them. Can I take a look at the drones?" I told my friend that room is not a place you can go into today. I tried to get him to go to the living room instead. I had put an Xbox there just for him to play with. Melissa had already seen the door. She said, "You really locked your office just because we are coming over. That is really too much, do you not think the office should be open when we visit?" I took her aside, told her softly that the drone in there was really expensive, even more than what she paid for her house. "We need the drone for rescue operations." She looked at me like I was crazy. "Tyler's not a baby. He knows not to touch things. You're being paranoid." The barbecue was going really well until I saw that Tyler was not in the living room anymore. I went to look for him. I found him in the hallway. He was trying to open my office door with a bobby pin. It seemed like he learned how to do this from YouTube. I was surprised that Tyler was trying to pick my office lock with a bobby pin. "Tyler, what are you up to right now?" I really wanted to see the drone. "My mom told me that you fly the drone for your job. I think the drone is so cool. I have always wanted to see the drone close." I walked him back to the living room. Then Melissa stopped us. She said, "What is the problem? Just show him the drone. He wants to know more about your work with the drone." I did not want to do this. I had to open the office. I did not want to cause a problem in front of my family. So I unlocked the door. I said, "You can look around, but do not touch anything. The machines in this room are very important. They help people who are sick or hurt. They are also very expensive. The medical equipment in this office is used to save lives." Tyler's eyes got really big when he saw the Skyranger in its case. He said, "That is so cool. Is that the FLIR model? I saw videos of the Skyranger online. Can I hold the Skyranger controller?" "No, absolutely not. This isn't a toy," he said. "I know it is not a toy." Then he went to grab the toy anyway, so I stood in front of him to stop him from touching the toy. I did not want him to play with the toy because it is not something to play with. The toy was not for him to touch. Melissa let out a sigh. "Oh my God, Jake, let him hold the thing. You are being really mean. He is not going to break the thing by holding the thing." "Melissa, I want to tell you about this important rescue equipment that costs $62,000. We just got a report that someone will be missing while hiking tomorrow. I think this drone could really help save the missing hiker's life. This drone is very special. It could be the one thing that saves the life of the missing hiker. You always make things sound worse than they are. Just let him hold it for a picture, that is all. You are making him feel really bad about this. He just wants to hold it for a picture." The family was still together. Tyler kept going back to my office door. I saw him do this 3 times. Every time I caught him, Melissa made me feel like I was the one who was wrong. She said, "You are going to make Tyler feel bad about himself." Then she asked me, "Why did you even let him see it if you were going to get upset about it?" Tyler was still sneaking around. Melissa was getting defensive about Tyler. I had to go help my dad with the grill. This took 10 minutes. When I came back inside the house, I saw that my office door was wide open. I was surprised to see that the drone case was completely empty. The drone was gone from the drone case. My blood ran cold. I ran to the backyard because that is where I could hear the drone's motors making a weird noise. Tyler was standing in the middle of the yard holding the controller, and the search and rescue drone was flying 20 feet up in the air. The search and rescue drone that Tyler was flying was the search and rescue drone that cost $62,000. Tyler Land, IT now. He smiled at me, said, "I know how to fly. I play Microsoft Flight Simulator." He was really excited about Microsoft Flight Simulator. He told me that Microsoft Flight Simulator is a lot of fun. Melissa was standing next to me all of a sudden. She said to me, "See, the person is doing fine." "You are worrying way much about the person, Melissa. That is not a toy. You need to get him to land the plane now. The plane is not something to play with, so get him to land the plane immediately." So, Tyler was trying to show off. He wanted to do a flip with the drone, like the ones you see on YouTube. The drone started to flip. It did not work out very well. It moved fast, then it overcorrected and went flying sideways. The drone went into my swimming pool. The splash was really loud and the quiet that followed. I had $62,000 of special rescue equipment, and it all went to the bottom of my pool in just a few seconds. The thermal imaging camera, the GPS systems, and the emergency beacon locator. All of the rescue equipment was destroyed. I was left with nothing but the thought of all that rescue equipment. The imaging camera, the GPS systems, and the emergency beacon locator all gone. Tyler dropped the controller. He ran to his mother. He said it was an accident. The controls of the game were different than the controls of my game. Melissa quickly became very protective. She said, "It is okay, honey. It was an accident. Uncle Jake should not have left it where you could get it." She was trying to make the kid feel better. Melissa said it again. "Uncle Jake should not have left it there. It was not an idea." "I was really mad when I saw that you unlocked my office." I screamed at my sister. I had never yelled at my sister like that before. My office was my space, and I did not like it when people went in there without asking me. I was so angry that I was seeing red. My sister unlocked my office. That made me very upset. I did not think he would actually fly the airplane. The boy just wanted to hold the airplane. You were being very mean to the boy. The boy only wanted to hold the airplane. You were still being mean to him. I pulled the destroyed drone from the pool. It was really bad. Water was pouring out of every opening on the drone. The thermal camera on the drone was cracked over. The entire drone system was a loss. The drone was completely ruined. The next day was really tough for us. We had to look for a missing man who had dementia. This old man was lost in a dense forest. We did not have our drone that can see heat, so we were looking for him without being able to see anything from the air. The people who were searching on the ground did their best. If we had our drone with a special camera that can see heat, we would have found him much faster. It would have taken us a few hours. Instead, it took us 3 days to find him. When we finally found Robert Chen, it was too late. He had died from being too cold. We know that Robert Chen was alive for at least 24 hours after he got lost. If we had used our drone, we would have seen where he was on the first night. The drone can see a person's body heat, so it would have spotted Robert Chen easily. I filed an insurance claim for the drone. The insurance company is investigating because someone who was not supposed to be using the drone was using it. I went to the police station, filed a police report because my property was destroyed. Melissa is telling everyone that I want my own nephew to get in trouble with the police. She says the whole thing was an accident and that I care more about the drone than I care about my family. Melissa says I am putting things like the drone ahead of my family. My parents want me to drop everything. They are always saying that family is family. They say, "Do not let this tear the family apart." My brother thinks that I should just let the insurance company handle the thing and then move on with my life. My other sister says that I am being really dramatic about the family situation. They did not have to look at Robert Chen's daughter and explain to her why we could not find her father in time. Robert Chen's daughter is the one they had to face. They do not have to deal with the fact that Robert Chen died because my sister thought I was being mean to her son. I did not let her son play with the rescue equipment. That is what my sister thought. Now Robert Chen is dead. It is a very sad thing. The company that made this thing says we have to wait 4 months for them to send AN1. This means we will have to deal with search options for 4 months. For 4 months, the search system will not be as good. We might not be able to find people when we need to, which is a big problem because it could be an emergency and every minute counts with the search system. So tell me, Reddit, am I wrong for filing charges? Am I wrong for going no contact with my sister? Because from where I'm standing, her entitlement and disrespect for boundaries cost someone their life, and my family thinks I should just let it go. I am sitting in my office staring at the foreclosure notice, and I am wondering how my life fell apart so completely in just 6 weeks. The walls that used to hold my agricultural survey maps and client testimonials are bare now. I sold everything I could just to pay month's rent for my office. My sister, she is telling everyone that I am a heartless monster who values money over my family. My life and my office and my agricultural survey business, they all seem to be falling. My sister's words are really hurting me. I do not know what to do about my agricultural survey business and my office and my life. Let me start again. I was in charge of an agricultural consulting business. I used to help farmers get the most out of their crops by using technology. My main tool was a SenseFly EBX drone with a Parrot Sequoia Plus sensor. This SenseFly EBX drone is not like the drones you buy on Amazon. The SenseFly EBX drone is an expensive piece of equipment that costs $62,000. It takes pictures in ways that the human eye cannot see. The SenseFly EBX drone can find problems with crops, like when they're not getting enough water or when there are pests weeks before the farmers can see anything is wrong. I worked with 7 farms in the county and I helped them a lot. My surveys were saving the farms hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. This was a deal for the farms because they were losing a lot of money on crops before I started working with them. The farms were very happy with my work. I was happy to be helping the farms and I had contracts that worked well for both of us. 6 weeks ago, my sister Rachel came to my house with her son Connor. He is 12 years old. My sister Rachel was having a time with her divorce and she needed a place to stay for a little while. I did not want to say no to my sister Rachel. She is my sister and I care about her, so I wanted to help my sister Rachel. The problem started away. Connor is bad news. Rachel always says yes to him. You can tell. He looks through my stuff, eats all my food, and acts like my house is his own playground. Whenever I say something about it, Rachel just says Connor is having a time with the divorce, so be patient with Connor. On the day Connor found my drone in the garage, I was getting the drone ready for a job the next morning. We had to check 500 acres of soybeans because they were not doing well. The farmer could lose a lot of money, around $200,000 if we did not figure out what was wrong with the soybeans quickly. My drone was going to help us do that. The soybeans were showing signs of stress. We had to find the problem. Whoa, Connor said. Is that really a drone? He asked this. Then he reached for the military drone. I said, do not touch that. That is my work equipment. My work equipment is very expensive. My work equipment is also very fragile. He completely ignored me, picked up the controller. He said, I bet I could fly this thing. Fortnite is a game I'm really good at. I mean Fortnite. I took the controller from Connor. I locked both the drone and the controller in the garage storage cabinet. Connor, I am serious. The drone and the controller are dangerous. They cost more than a car. The drone is not a toy. The drone is something that needs to be handled with care. Rachel stood in the doorway. She said you locked up your drone because of Connor. That is really something. Connor is not a kid anymore. This machine is worth $62,000. My whole business relies on it. The equipment is really important to me because it is the key to my business. Without this $62,000 equipment, I do not know what I would do. The equipment is that to my business. She laughed. You are so paranoid. The man is not going to steal your drone. God, you are worse than his father when it comes to the drone. I mean, you really love that drone. You do not want anything to happen to the drone. The drone is very important to you. That evening when we were having dinner, I told them out. The garage is not a place you should go into. My drone is inside. The garage, it is really not safe. The batteries in my drone can give you bad burns if you touch them the wrong way. You should not go into the garage. All the garage is off limits. That means you should stay away from the garage. My drone is in the garage. I do not want anyone to get hurt because of my drone. Connor gave a smirk and said, whatever. Rachel rolled her eyes. You are being ridiculous. The drone is not a deal. Every kid has a drone these days. I mean, the drone is something that kids play with. The drone is really common now. Rachel, this is not a toy for kids. It is surveying equipment. For surveying. I want you to promise me that you and the other person will stay out of the garage. The surveying equipment is very important. I do not want anything to happen to it. Please stay away from the garage where the surveying equipment is kept. We are going to do it. We promise that we will do it. Are you happy now that the music festival tickets are bought and we are all going to see The Weeknd and the music festival is going to be much fun? With the music festival tickets, the morning I went to a meeting with a client to talk about doing more work for their vineyard. This was a deal for me. It could mean a contract worth $50,000 every year. I was away from home for 3 hours. I knew something was not right the moment I drove into my driveway. The garage door was wide open. My storage cabinet was busted open. The lock was clearly smashed with a hammer. The case that held my drone was completely empty. I heard the EB before I saw it. That whine of the EB's motor? But the EB's motor sounded wrong. It sounded strained. I ran to the backyard to find Connor standing on my deck. He had the controller in his hand and my $62,000 EV was tangled in the power lines behind my house. Connor, what have you done to make me so upset? I am really shocked at what you have done, Connor. Your actions are very bad, Connor. What were you thinking, Connor? He shrugged. The thing is stuck. The controls of the thing are really stupid. Rachel came outside with her coffee. She said, oh, do not worry. We will get it down. We will get it. The man who was flying the drone could have been killed. The drone is completely destroyed. Do not be so dramatic. Connor, come inside. Your uncle is having one of his fits. The power company had to turn off the electricity to the neighborhood so they could safely take away the drone. The drone was completely ruined. The big surge of electricity had damaged every part of the drone. The special sensor on the drone that could see different things was worth $30,000, and it would take 3 months to get a new one. The drone was gone in an instant. That was just the start of my problems. I had to stop the soybean survey away. The farmer found another person to do the job, and by the time they figured out the soybeans had a fungus, he had already lost a lot of his soybeans. He took me to court for not doing what I promised. People in our town who work with farms heard about it really fast. In 2 weeks, all 7 of my big clients said they did not want to work with me anymore. One farmer said to me, "You cannot trust someone who cannot even take care of his equipment. What if you had lost our yield data that's just for our farm?" I was trying to explain what happened. Nobody would believe me that my sister actually broke into my locked garage. She did this so her son could play with the equipment that is stored in there. It sounds really crazy to me that my sister broke into my locked garage to let her son play with the professional equipment. My business insurance would not pay for the loss because someone who was not allowed to use the drone was flying it. This meant my business credit line was in trouble because it was connected to my contracts, and now those contracts were no good. In 1 month, my business was on the verge of going bankrupt. I was really worried about my business. The business that I had worked so hard to build, and now the business was facing a big problem. I said to Rachel that she had to pay for the drone that got destroyed. Rachel said, "Do I really have to pay for it?" She told me that I was the one who left the drone where Connor could find it. Rachel said that I know Connor is really curious about technology and things like that. She said that the drone getting destroyed is my fault because I did not put it in a place. Rachel thinks it is my fault that the drone got broken because I did not secure the drone properly. IT was locked in a cabinet in a locked garage. That clearly was not enough, was it? You probably should have gotten a safe to keep your things secure. I am not paying $60,000 because you were not responsible with your belongings. I gave my sister the papers last week. I am taking her to court for the cost of the drone, the money I lost from my business, and other damages. My sister responded by posting about it on media. She told everyone that I am trying to bankrupt my sister while she is going through a divorce. My sister said that I care more about money than I care about my family. She also said that I am a person who only thinks about the drone, which she called a toy plane, and that I do not care about my nephew. The drone is very important to me because it is a part of my business. My sister does not understand why I need to take her to court over the drone. My parents are asking me to stop the lawsuit. They say my family member is having a time right now. My parents think that family should forgive each other. My brother believes I am getting too upset about this. He tells me to forget about it and claim the loss on my taxes. Then I can move on with my life. My family thinks I should forgive my family member and drop the lawsuit. They just do not get it. This was not about something being broken. Someone did this on purpose to hurt my business. The person who did this is supposed to be a part of my family. Rachel knew how important that drone was for my work. She went into a cabinet in a locked garage. She did this because she did not want to say no to her son. My business is very important to me. Rachel knew that. She still broke the drone. The drone meant a lot to my business. Rachel did a bad thing yesterday. I went to court. Asked for a restraining order because this woman came to my house and yelled at me. She said I was messing up her life. This is the woman who hurt my business very badly. Now she is acting like she is the one who is suffering because I do not want to give up and let her take all my money. The woman who destroyed my business is now saying I am the person because I will not let her win and take everything from me. I have lost everything. My business is gone, my reputation is ruined, my savings are all. It seems like most of my family does not want to be around me anymore. All of this happened because my sister thought I was being too careful about protecting the equipment that I needed to make a living. She said I was being paranoid about it. It turns out I was not being careful enough. My business and my equipment were really important to me. Now they are both gone. So Reddit, am I the asshole for suing my sister? Am I really choosing money over family? Or is she the one who chose her son's entertainment over my entire career? Because I'm starting to doubt myself, even as I pack up what's left of my life. The certified letter came yesterday. It said notice of license revocation. Permanent? I spent 10 years working as an infrastructure inspector, and now it is all gone. My lawyer thinks we have a chance of winning, but it does not really matter. The thing is, you cannot use a court case to get into an industry that does not want you anymore. My sister is making things worse. She is writing on Facebook that I am a person who is trying to ruin her life over something that she says was an accident. She is acting like I am the one who did something. The certified infrastructure inspector license is what I had, and now it is gone because of this. I want to tell you what I did for work because a lot of people do not get why this is such a deal. I was a level 3 certified infrastructure inspector. I specialized in checking bridges and cell towers. My job was to use a machine called a DJI Matrix 300 RTK that had super cool tools like LiDAR, sensors, and really good cameras to look at important infrastructure like bridges and towers. I was looking for things like cracks and rust that could cause problems. This was not something I did for fun. The machine I used cost a lot of money, $62,000. It was really good at finding tiny cracks in steel from far away, like 50 feet. I used the DJI Matrix 300 RTK to inspect infrastructure for things like stress fractures and corrosion and structural failures. The DJI Matrix 300 RTK was an important tool for my work. As a level 3 certified infrastructure inspector, my job is really important because it helps to make sure that bridges do not collapse and cell towers do not fall down. I do work that prevents bridges from collapsing. And cell towers from falling, which is a big deal. This is what my work does. It stops bridges from collapsing and cell towers from falling so people can stay safe. 3 months ago, on a Tuesday morning, my sister Hannah called me. She was really upset. My sister Hannah said, I need you to take care of Ethan. It is a problem. My sister Hannah will be there in 10 minutes. Hannah, I am not able to do that. I have a bridge inspection that I need to go to in 1 hour. This bridge inspection is for a contract that I am working on. The thing is, I really have to be for the bridge inspection because it is a big deal and it is part of the federal contract. My boss just called an important meeting and I have to be there. If I do not go to this meeting, I will lose my job at the company. The meeting is only going to last for hours. Please, I am really asking you, do not make me miss the emergency meeting. My boss called. I am begging you to help me get to the meeting on time so I do not lose my job. Before I could say anything, she was standing at my door. She basically dropped off her 9-year son and then she left really fast. There was no talking about it, no options. She just said, here's my kid, you take care of the kid. I had an important inspection scheduled for a railway bridge. This railway bridge carries bad stuff that can hurt people. The kind of inspection that you cannot change the date of. Federal regulations and safety rules were already in place. The track was going to be closed for an amount of time and everything was already set to happen. The railway bridge inspection was something that had to be done on time. I made the decision. I took Ethan with me because that is what I thought was best. For Ethan, I had to take Ethan out the time we were driving. I was telling them what to do. I said, you have to stay in the truck. You cannot get out of the truck for any reason. Do not touch anything on the job site. This place is very dangerous. There are rules that we have to follow. If we do not follow these rules, people can get hurt badly or even die. I repeated the rules because the job site is a place and the rules are important for the safety of everyone, including the people who work at the construction site and the people who are just visiting the job site. Like us, my Uncle Mike was talking to me, but I was already playing games on my Nintendo Switch, so I just said, okay, Uncle Mike. When I got to the site, I parked the truck far away from where all the work was being done. I made sure the air conditioner was still on. Then I gave my phone to Ethan. I told him if you need something, you should call your mom. You must not leave the truck. I am very serious about this. The truck is not to be left. You need to stay with the truck. I got my equipment ready, made sure the area was safe, and started checking everything out. The drone was flying around under the bridge, making a map with LiDAR that would show us what the bridge really looks like in 3D. We were worried about this bridge because it did not look good the last time we checked it. So we needed to get exact measurements to figure out if the bridge needed to be fixed right away. The bridge was a concern for us because it had some problems before and we wanted to make sure the bridge was safe. 20 minutes into the inspection, I got a text from Hannah. She asked me, how is Ethan doing? The man is in the truck. I am working. Do not be so strict with him. Boys are going to behave like boys. Let him watch what you are doing least. He really loves robots. He really loves drones. This is a job site. The man stays in the truck. I do not think you will get it until you have children of your own. You will see what I mean when you have kids. Having kids is a deal and it is hard to understand until you have kids. I was looking closely at a crack in one of the pillars that was worrying me when I heard this sound. My drone's motors did not sound right. They were making a noise. Before that, my drone was hovering steadily in the air. Then it started moving around in a weird way. I turned to look at my control station. It was empty. I felt really scared. My blood turned to ice. My blood was like ice when that happened. The feeling of my blood turning to ice was very frightening. My blood turned to ice. Ethan was standing 30 feet away from me, holding my controller in his hand like it was an Xbox game controller. He was pressing the buttons fast, like he was playing a video game. The $62,000 inspection drone was flying over the place above the bridge. Ethan was still holding the controller, mashing the buttons trying to control the inspection drone. The inspection drone was moving above the bridge. ETHAN. Put it down now. The man got really scared. He pulled both sticks back as hard as he could. The drone went flying at full speed right into the main support pillar of the bridge. This was a disaster. The carbon fiber and metal parts of the drone broke into a million pieces. Went everywhere. The LiDAR sensor, which costs $30,000 all by itself, smashed into the concrete, broke into pieces. The drone fell onto the railway tracks, completely broken into pieces. The drone was totally destroyed. The silence that followed was really quiet. Then Ethan started crying. He said, I just wanted to try it. My mom said that boys will be boys because that is what boys do. The next 6 hours were a mess. The railway had to shut down. They called in inspectors. A safety investigation was started. My supervisor showed up. He looked really old all of a sudden, like he had gotten 10 years older. The bridge inspection was not finished. There was a chance it had been badly damaged. There was stuff all over the train tracks. The railway was a big mess. The bridge inspection and the damage to it were a problem. The railway had debris on the tracks that people use. It was a really bad situation. I lost my job away. They did not just fire me, they terminated me because of my carelessness and the safety rules I broke. I made a mistake by bringing someone who was not allowed to be there to a job site that belongs to the federal government. I also failed to take care of the equipment. To make things worse, I put some very important things in danger. The federal job site had infrastructure that I was supposed to protect, but I endangered it instead. There were other things I did wrong. 2. Bringing a person to the federal job site was a serious mistake. Failure to maintain control of the equipment was another one. Endangering the infrastructure at the federal job site was the worst part. Things took a turn for the worse. The Federal Infrastructure Safety Board took away my certification for good. There was no way to appeal this decision. I did not get a chance. I had been doing this work for 10 years. I had special certifications. My record was perfect. None of this made a difference. The Federal Infrastructure Safety Board certification I could not get it back. Now, I was not eligible for insurance. No one in my field would hire me. The Federal Infrastructure Safety Board certification was really important for my job, and without it, I was in trouble. The company is taking me to court for the cost of the drone and the inspection that did not go well and the emergency shutdown of the rail line. The company says I owe them $200,000. My old coworkers will not even talk to me on the phone. News travels quickly in the infrastructure inspection business. The infrastructure inspection business, I am a problem. I said to Hannah that she needs to take responsibility for what happened. She just laughed at me. What do I need to take responsibility for? She said. You are the one who brought a kid to a job site that's not safe. What kind of person does something like that? The Hannah said that this is all my fault because I took the child to the job site. Hannah thinks that I made a mistake by taking the child to the job site. Hannah said that I am the one to blame for what happened to the child at the job site. You just dropped him on me with no warning all. I was not expecting this to happen. You dropped him on me. That is really upsetting. I wish you had given me some warning before you dropped him on me. You decided to take him to work, of staying home when he was not feeling well. You thought your job was more important than keeping my son safe. Now you are in trouble because of what you did. Do not say that I am the reason for your decision. You should have thought about my son's safety first. You chose your job over my son. Now you have to deal with what happens next. My son's safety is very important to me. You did not make that a priority. You took him to work. That was a bad idea. I am taking her to court for destroying my drone. The money I lost because I could not work and for ruining my career? My lawyer thinks we have a case because of her extreme carelessness, and maybe we can even get her in trouble with the law since Ethan went into a federal work area without permission, which is basically trespassing. The thing is, my drone was destroyed, and that is a part of the problem. My career is also suffering because of what happened. Hannah is fighting back on media. She says I am a person who wants to hurt her because her son did something wrong. Hannah claims her son only made an error. She says I just want money and I do not care about my family. Hannah also says I never liked her son Ethan. Hannah is not telling the whole story. Her son's little error ruined my career. It was so bad that it could have made a bridge fall down. Hannah's son Ethan made a mistake. It was not a small mistake. Hannah's son Ethan did something that could have hurt a lot of people. My parents want me to drop the lawsuit against my sister. They say things like she's your sister and family does not sue family. My parents think I should have just called in sick that day. They believe this is my fault because I was not flexible. My parents do not understand why I am doing this. They keep saying that family should stick together and that I should not be suing my sister. My brother tells me that I am being too sensitive. He says I should just find a job. He thinks it is easy to switch careers because lots of people do it. My brother says there are plenty of jobs out there for me. I do not understand why this is happening to me. I am not qualified to do anything that pays even half what I was making. My expertise is in infrastructure inspection. This is a field that I am now banned from for life. I am 35 years old. I have to start over from the beginning with no experience, with a lot of debt and a bad reputation as the inspector who let a child crash a drone into a bridge. Infrastructure inspection is what I know best. Now I can do no work in infrastructure inspection. I had to leave my apartment and go back to live with my parents. My parents think I should just forgive my ex and forget what happened. I am sleeping in the bedroom I grew up in, looking at the ceiling and thinking about how my ex's bad behavior ruined everything I worked hard for. My parents do not understand why I am still upset about my ex. I am still thinking about my ex, how they thought they could do whatever they wanted and I would just deal with it. My ex's entitlement is still making me really angry. I do not know how to forget what they did to me. The criminal investigation is still happening. It seems that letting a kid use machines at a federal site is a big deal. Hannah might really get in trouble. She is asking me to make this problem go away. Hannah says that I will ruin the life of Ethan if his mother gets a record. The criminal investigation is about Hannah, what she did. Hannah does not want to record because of Ethan. She messed up my stuff first. She still will not even say sorry. She just will not apologize for what she did to my things. I am really struggling now, Reddit. My career is basically over. I am blacklisted in my industry. My family is falling apart. I am facing a lot of money problems. All of this is happening because my sister did not plan well for childcare when she had an emergency. She thought the rules did not apply to her son. Now I have to deal with all of this. My sister's actions have caused me many problems, and it is really unfair that my career and my family have to suffer because of her and her son. Tell me, am I wrong for pursuing every legal avenue available? Or should I just accept that my life's work is gone because boys will be boys?